Okay, for this cast on you can use double pointed needles or the circular needles, it doesn't matter. For an I-cord cast on you will start with 3 cast on stitches, just simple long tail cast on. So we have 3 stitches on our needle. Now what we will need to do, because we will be knitting always the right side, we need to slide all the 3 stitches to the other side of the needle. If you use double pointed needles, you also just slide, or you can just take this other needle and slide it just like that onto the other needle. Now, since we are working always on the right side, the yarn which comes will always be crossing all the stitches, all these 3 stitches, and that's how the cord will be created. So now we will work with first stitch. We will need to knit front and back. So we knit into the front loop. Without releasing this stitch yet, we knit through the back loop. Now we increased 1 stitch, now we have 2 stitches, and we can release the stitch from the left hand needle. And we knit the rest 2 stitches. Now, again, we will be knitting only the front. This 1 stitch we created in this knit front back will be our cast on stitch. These 3 stitches will always remain separate because these stitches will create our I-cord. So we slip those 3 stitches, 1 cast on stitch we made already, so we will need to work again front, knit front and back. We knit front without letting go of this stitch. We knit back, and only then we can release the stitch and knit the rest 2 stitches. Now we have 5 loops on our needle. These 3 will always create our I-cord, and these already 2, the real cast on stitches. And we continue the same way until we get desired amount of cast on stitches, -1, because if you need 20 cast on stitches, cast on 19, and then the number 20th will become after we decrease these 3 stitches. So again, back and front, and knit the rest of the stitches. Now we have 6. These are 3 cast on stitches, and these 3 are, you see, they are creating the cord. They say, you see how these loops here become a little bit stretched? I don't know how to avoid it. It always will be like that, no matter how hard you're tugging. Let's see, for example, they say in order to avoid the stretch stitches, you need to knit very tightly this front and back. I tried so many times. I tried to knit looser, I tried to knit tighter. Well, I could not avoid these stretched stitches. I will continue this way until I get a little bit longer the cast on, and I will show you how to decrease these 3 I-cord stitches. Let's assume I need 20 cast on stitches. As I said, you need to cast on the needed amount of the stitches minus 1. So at the moment I have 18 stitches. So I will cast on the stitch number 19, knit front and back, and there. So as you see, this first one is really sloppy because I was showing it on camera and it was a little bit because I was showing it on camera and I didn't pay attention too much on the tension, but the rest of the stitches I tried to knit as tight as possible, almost breaking my knitting needles, just to show that it doesn't make sense anyways. But I will show you how I decrease these I-cord stitches. I will slip these 3 stitches and I will just knit first 2 together, and I knit 2 together and I slide the stitch back and knit them together as well, just like that. And this will be your stitch number 20 when you decrease these I-cord stitches. So this how I-cord cast on looks like, and then you can continue to knit, and then you turn your work and continue to knit. Knit the first row and I will show you what is happening with this first row. You see, no matter how hard I tried this cast on row, it still makes ugly stretched stitches. You could say that it's because my yarn is not suitable. I tried with different yarns and this is really fluffy yarn also, you see, and the problem also is the tighter you knit this cast on, I-cord cast on, the tighter I-cord gets itself, and here also, and it also becomes a little bit too tight for the cast on row, and then the rest of the fabric much looser and it's not nice. What to do? Well, this is the way how to do it. When you do a simple I-cord and then pick up the stitches from the I-cord, then you will get very nice cast on edge like this. This you will need to knit an I-cord. I-cord is very simple to knit. You also cast on 3 stitches. You could cast on also 4, and then without knitting front and back, you just move all the stitches to the other side of the needle, because you will be knitting always on the right side, and you knit all 3 stitches. And again, you slide all the stitches to the other side and knit. And again, you slide all the stitches on the other side. It's okay, this yarn has to stretch all over these 3 stitches. And we knit I-cord as many rows as we want the stitches to be cast on stitches. For example, we need to pick up 20 cast on stitches and we need 19 rows, and because this 20th will be when we decrease these 3 stitches from the I cord. So let's assume we have enough cast on rows, and I will show you what to do next. Now we can decrease these 3 stitches. We can use a different way, but I will say left leaning decrease. Slip, knit, pass the knit stitch over, and again knit the next one, and I just pass again. So we decreased all 3 I cord rows, and now we will need to pick up stitch from this loop. If you see, when you decrease, there is this, you can actually pick up any loop you want, depends. You can pick up this one or from here. I do just straight. If I see I decrease and I see these V's coming from the top, I will be picking up the back of this row. So what I do, this I don't touch because this sort of is our decrease row. Now I don't need this other needle. What I do, this I don't touch from next one. I pick up from this row 1 stitch. This is how it looks, and I continue to the end. And the last stitch, you just look careful, where is this loop, and get the last stitch done. So this is our cast on, and as you see at the moment, of course, it doesn't look much different from the I-cord cast on, but let's knit the other row. I will just continue simple with the purl stitches. Don't be afraid, my purl stitches are the continental, whatever, Norwegian style, like very complicated looking, but these are just simple purl stitches. So we just knit until the end, and now you can see that we don't have the stretched loops on this cast on row, the same like on the fluffy yarn. The I-cord itself, it's not tight like this one. You could even tell the difference even from the look. So this is what I advise you instead of I-cord cast on. I will be very happy if it helped you. Thank you for watching this video. Please press like button and subscribe to my channel not to miss any new videos. In this way I know that I will have to post maybe more videos about different topics. Until then, I just say goodbye and I see you in my next videos.